Welcome everybody to my comedy crutch. I only know 4 songs. The year is 1988. It's not, but just play pretend because we'll get to why I'm saying the year is 1988. The year is 1988, and a movie called Klowns From Outer Space is released. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds like a complete joke of a film. It is. Trust me, it gets better. Yes, I will explain. Klowns From Outer Space, it's obviously a joke, right? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a movie about clowns coming down from space to kill people, and it's dumb. And the people making it are aware that it's dumb. Why am I talking about an intentionally bad movie? Because what is there to make fun of? They're self-aware. Well, what I've come here today is I propose the movie itself is made to be bad, but it's also on top of that, also a bad movie. AKA, I'm giving that as an excuse so I can talk about this movie. Yes, it is free on YouTube. You should watch it, but watch this first. Part 1. So we open with a pretty sick intro song, if I'm being honest. It's like a rendition of some sort of like circus theme or whatever. We open at nighttime. The whole movie's at night. And you'll notice that this movie, for some reason, everything in the town that they live in is like clown themed in some way. Our first character we see, underage kid, but he's got a lot of suds. He's got a lot of booze. Got a lot of beer. What's he doing with those beers? The police officer right in front of him sure doesn't care. And they're in the woods with a bunch of other teens, drinking, you know, fucking. And this is where we're introduced to 2 of our main characters, Mike and Debbie, who are generic teenage romance characters. And an ice cream truck shows up in the middle of the woods.
A tasty treat for while you screw.
It's the Terenzi Bros. That's right, the hype, cool, hippity hoppin' poppin', coolest guys in town, and they drive an ice cream truck. They're cool, I swear. So then Mike and Debbie see like a meteor flying over the sky, and it lands in the backyard of this old guy's house, and he's with his dog. And then he dies. He dies. Right after we get a quick little scene at the police station where we get introduced to Dave and Mooney.
And it's scum like you that are killing this town.
Just lighten up, Mooney.
Who are 2 more characters you'll see more in a sec. Smash cut! It's not really smash cut, but I'm calling it a smash cut! Okay, listen. Debbie is definitely not into Mike, and here's how you can tell, besides that horrible haircut. Debbie is like convinced that they should go to the meteor.
Come on, let's go check it out.
Because as much as Mike wants to plow her, she is like set on finding this rock that just fell out of space.
Debbie, don't you want to finish our champagnes?
Take it with us.
If instinct serve chief, correct? Path lie that way.
Is that racist? Pretty sure that's racist. It was the 80s. Oh yeah, by the way, the alien's ship is like a circus tent looking thing. Just go with it. It's a little bit of a theme in this movie. It's clown themes. I don't know if you know it. It's a little bit of it's a quirky film, alright? So Mike and Debbie head into the like tent thing, and suddenly Debbie's like really sketched out, but suddenly Mike is like super into it for no reason.
Come on, this looks neat. Let's check this out.
No, let's go. I've seen enough.
This place great or what? It looks like it was decorated by Clowns R Us.
And they stumble across what looks like something out of Return of the Jedi? And they're like, wait a minute, this doesn't look like it's a normal circus. What the heck is going on here? They wind up in another room that's filled with like cotton candy cocoons looking things. And again, Mike is like totally suspending his disbelief. He's like, yeah.
This looks like a cotton candy factory to me. This must be where they're hanging up to dry before they ship the stuff out.
I've never seen anything like this before. Have you?
No?
I don't believe in UFOs. But...
Gosh.
So then right at that moment, another clown shows up and they're like, oh shit, we better bounce. So then they bounce. We get some great special effects with some very real looking balloon animal dogs. So Mike and Debbie escape, all right? And the first place they go is actually the police station.
Dave, it was not a circus tent. It was something else.
What?
It was a spaceship, and there was these things, killer clowns, and they shot popcorn at us. We barely got away.
Killer clowns from outer space.
Roll credits.
Holy shit.
Mooney doesn't believe him, of course, because why would he?
I know you, you little fart. You hang out with the Terenzi brothers. Clowns. Another one of their stupid stunts to sell ice cream from that goddamn truck those hoodlums run around in.
Yeah. That's it. So we cut to some of the clowns going into some goofy shenanigans inside the town, and one of them is displaying a puppet show, of course, and another grown adult is absolutely mesmerized by this puppet show. And then he gets capped. He dies. He's not alive. He dies. It's not real. It's a movie. So here we are. Dave, Mike, and Debbie are on the case.
You, in the back.
You are not my boyfriend anymore, all right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm not your boyfriend anymore. It doesn't change the way I feel about you, though, Debbie.
But first they drop Debbie off at her house. And then when they show up at where the circus tent was, and it's not there, Mike gets arrested. So Dave, however, is convinced in basically the next scene.
Check this out.
That's the stuff.
Here's a fun fact. They weren't actually allowed to damage any of the cars in the film because they were all rented. However, the car filled with like the cotton candy stuff or whatever, something about the adhesive. First of all, they used a real car. They could have built a fake one. It doesn't move or anything. I don't know why they didn't just build like a shell. It cost them $3,000 to fix. So now the clowns are on the town, and one of the little clown guys shows up at like a biker gang or something, and one of the huge biker guys shows up and like demolishes the alien's tricycle thing.
Should have let the man ride his bike.
And then he goes, "What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?" And then the alien punches his head off of his fucking neck, and it's hilarious. It's cut from TV though, so we're a little bit into the night now. We're aware of all these clown killings going on, and Mooney gets a call from an anonymous caller saying that, "Help, I've witnessed somebody be murdered by clowns." And his response is like,
Stupid kids and the pranks.
and he cracks open a cold one. What a Chad. And then he gets, so this following scene has got to be one of, if not the weirdest scene in the entire movie. How do I put this? Yes, there's a car chase in this movie. Yes, the car is invisible. And hell yeah, it falls off a bridge. It wasn't supposed to. It was over budget. They were renting them, like I said earlier. There was a lot of damage. But it's pretty sick. I don't know why the car was invisible, though. I genuinely think they ran out of money, and that's what they came up with to make the car. And then a clown shows up at a bus station, and he starts doing, like, hand puppet movements on the wall. Let me just say, these people are absolutely captivated by this, like, hand puppet show this clown is doing, which, by the way, is using little, like, big sausage fingers to make these like weird intricate figures, but that's not the main important thing that happens. What's important is that he then turns it into a huge monster, and I'm not kidding, he eats the people with his shadow in front of Mike and Dave, who then try and speed and hit the clown, who then jumps like 800 feet in the air, and then when Mike and Dave hit the curb, they're going at like 3 miles per hour. When it cuts them inside the car, they're like, ooh, ooh. Stop.
He's gone. He went straight up.
By this point, Dave is definitely pro-clown, obviously, because he's seen one with his own fucking eyes. And he calls Mooney. He uses the real F-word on him.
Fuck you!
And then Mike splits off from Dave for whatever reason, because he sees the Terenzi Bros again. You know, my boys. And he needs their truck. I forget why. When the Terenzi Bros ask him to explain what's going on,
What are you talking about? What's wrong?
Mike goes, and I quote, "There's no time to explain." And then explains it all anyways, so...
There's clowns going around killing people. Tonight, Debbie and I were up on the spaceship, and they were shooting these clowns. They were carrying these cotton candy things, but we were there. We saw the whole thing.
And they say we're crazy.
Dave goes back to the police station to convince Mooney in person, I guess. But on his way, Mooney encounters one of the clowns and still has just no idea that he's actually a fucking alien. He handcuffs him.
I'm supposed to read you your rights, but you're in Mooney's jail, and you ain't got no rights.
But his fucking hands like fall off. So then he's just like, "Go to the jail cell, I guess." And the clown's like, "All right," he's just going with it. And so he puts him in the cell. He goes, "Show me your hands," but his hands are still off. So he's like, and then he brings out new hands, which came out of who knows where. And then he puts him in the cell with 2 other guys he arrested earlier. And then his head does a 360. So Dave shows up at the scene, and the 2 guys that were in the cell with him are dead, obviously. And this has to be, in my opinion, the best and also creepiest scene in the entire movie. Dave encounters Mooney, who is now like puppet possessed by one of the clowns. I don't know what gets me. Maybe it's like the face paint he's on. Maybe it's when he pulls the hand out of him and it's just blood. Maybe it's that he's talking and like he's talking in Mooney voice, but he's also like talking like through the clown voice at the same time.
Don't worry, Dave. All we want to do is kill you.
I really like this scene. So then the clown dumps Mooney and he goes after Dave. Obviously Dave starts shooting at him. Dave actually shoots the clown in the nose, which killed the clown. He didn't just fall over and die. The nose pops like confetti and then he spins around in like a big flashy show and then like explodes. Cut back to Debbie. She's finally out of the shower, which she was in the shower the whole time, doesn't matter. And she gets attacked by these like clown head things because there was popcorn on her shirt when she got shot by popcorn by the clowns earlier. It's not important. They do turn into weird demonic clown snake things. They try and kill her, but...
Debbie, it's Mike. Open up.
Mike?
Debbie.
all of the clowns are there. They want her for some reason. So she goes to jump out the window. They're there too. She gets abducted, but instead of getting cotton candy eyes by every single other person they've killed, they put her in a balloon. Mike and the Trenzibers are on the scene as those clowns are peeling out of there with her in the balloon. And so they chase after her in the ice cream truck. And then Dave is also on his way there to save her. And he sees the ice cream truck following this grotesque clown car. Yes, it's supposed to spell with K's. And he chases after them. And then they get away. So the clowns escape. And Dave just like plows his car into the ice cream truck. So he's got to go with Mike and the Trenzibers now. They're like, where did the clowns go? And they're like, of course, the one place that we would absolutely expect them to the one place we absolutely expect them to go, the amusement park. Let us go. So they go to the amusement park and the clowns roll up and there's a security guard there.
What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
They throw like 800 pies at him. He just kind of dies from the pies, I guess. So the gang rolls up.
Hey, you guys, this is weird.
Looks like a wad of melted ice cream.
Yeah, well, it's not.
And they head into the circus tent alien spaceship thing. And as they're looking around, the Trenzy Bros, the floor comes out under them. And they're put into a ball pit. So then Mike and Dave find Debbie. And they witness one of the clowns slurping up whatever is in the cocoons at this point with a unnecessarily bendy. It's like, it makes me upset how bendy the straw is, to be honest. Why does, I get that you have to be like, you gotta have your little theme or whatever, but does it really have to be that bendy? Because just, oh my god, this movie makes no sense. They try to escape and it works pretty well at first. They run into a lot of like funhouse things going on.
Come on, open the door! Another door! Come on, Mike! Another door! Another door!
Hurry!
Another door! Another door!
Hurry!
Another.
But then they show up in this big room, all right, and they're surrounded by the clowns. They're fucked. Until, that's right, you guessed it, everybody's favorite, the Terenzi Bros come flying in. I thought they were dead. They're not. In fact, it looks like they got plowed by the aliens. So that happened in this movie. The Terenzi Bros pretend to play Clown God.
Stop! Leave them alone! Do what I say or else!
I am the great and powerful JoJo. I command you to stop. Do not hurt them. Let them go. You will obey me. Let them go.
And all the clowns like, oh, of course, Clown God. What? Sorry, dude. We didn't mean to mess your vibe up or whatever. We're gone. We're good, dude. They all go to leave. And then... Clownzilla's in this movie.
What the hell is that?
Don't ask questions. You've learned by this point in the movie not to ask questions. Clownzilla rolls up. Debbie and Mike, bullets out of there. They're safe. Also, the military is there, but they don't do anything, so it doesn't matter. But the Terenzi Bros are trying to get the ice cream truck to start, but it won't, and they won't leave because it's a rental. Then Clownzilla picks up the ice cream truck and destroys the entire thing, definitely killing the Terenzi Bros in a horrific flaming ice cream truck explosion. Now it's just Dave and Clownzilla, and Clownzilla picks up Dave, and he's about to eat him, I guess. And then Dave takes off his sheriff's badge and pops the clown in the nose, and then he dies. Also, the entire spaceship blows up, because this movie is now Star Wars. You're never gonna believe this. The ice cream truck from earlier, you know, that got completely blown up, flies out of the sky of the explosion and lands right next to Mike and Debbie and also the useless military. Out comes Dave. He's alive. Thank God. But then also the Terenzi bros come out of the ice cream truck, but I'm pretty sure they died in a horrific fiery ice cream truck explosion. Their excuse for this was that they were in the freezer, so they were fine. But they weren't, because they were whatever.
But I saw you guys get blown up in the ice cream truck.
Oh, that. Oh, we hid in the freezer with the ice cream.
Yeah.
And the movie ends, right when they get pied in the face from some mysterious... I don't know where they got pied in the face from, and also those pies have been shown in the movie to cause horrific acidic damages, so they now have completely melted off faces at the end of this movie, but that's the end of the movie. Do I encourage you to watch this movie? Yes, I really do. It's free on YouTube. It's only an hour and 30 minutes long about, and you should definitely watch it. I left out a few things here and there because I think you need to enjoy it yourself, and also I'm lazy and didn't talk about every single thing in the movie because that'd be boring. Let me know if you actually do end up watching it on YouTube. It is free. What you thought of it. We're gonna make a sequel, but then it's kind of in development hell forever, and it was going to be in 3D, and they're going to make an HBO series on it, I think. I don't know, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and of course...